American political and social life. Fledgling parties vigorously contested the presidential elections of 1796 and 1800, resulting in division, chaos, and contested results. As parties became more ingrained in the American psyche and later enshrined into election law, a two-party system took root. Soon, it became impossible to imagine the political system functioning without parties. Partisan newspapers became features of public life, conveying the positions of the earliest American parties to their supporters. Later, the two major parties acted as vital agents of political socialization for a wave of Irish immigrants in the 1840s and a historic number of European migrants in the 1890s. George Washington Plunkett, boss of New York City's infamous Tammany Hall machine, candidly told a reporter in 1905 how he wooed young men into his Democratic organization. "I hear of a young fellow that's proud of his voice, thinks he can sing fine. I ask him to come around to Washington Hall and join our glee club. He comes and sings, and he's a follower of Plunkett for life. Another young feller gains a reputation as a baseball player in a vacant lot. I bring him into our baseball club. That fixes him. You'll find him working for my ticket at the polls next election day. And then there's the feller that likes rowing on the river, the young feller that makes a name as a waltzer on his block, the young feller that's handy with his dukes. I rope them all in by giving them opportunities to show themselves off. I don't trouble them with political arguments. I just study human nature and act accordin'." During the 19th century, presidents were often secondary in prominence to local and state party leaders, who doled out thousands of patronage jobs to their most loyal supporters, positions that often made the difference between prosperity and ruin. But party influence wasn't always about jobs. Party leaders were vital intermediaries, assisting those in trouble with the law, providing aid to victims of fire or some other tragedy, and creating fraternal organizations or other social outlets. Former First Lady Michelle Obama remembers how her father, Fraser Robinson, acquired his patronage job at the Chicago water filtration plant and, in return, served as a neighborhood precinct captain. Obama writes, "He'd held the post for years, in part because loyal service to the party machine was more or less expected of city employees. Even if he'd been half forced into it, though, my dad loved the job, which baffled my mother given the amount of time it demanded. He paid weekend visits to a nearby neighborhood to check in on his constituents, often with me reluctantly in tow. When somebody had problems with garbage pickup or snow plowing or was irritated by a pothole, my dad was there to listen. His purpose was to help people feel cared for by the Democrats and to vote accordingly when elections rolled around." Time eroded the power of these local party organizations as an expanding civil service substantially reduced the number of patronage jobs. Today, national party organizations like the Democratic National Committee, Republican National Committee, and their congressional counterparts have subsumed the once powerful party bosses to dominate national and frequently state politics. This centralization of party power coincides with a partisanship that sees fewer voters split their tickets between Democrats and Republicans, more citizens contributing small dollar amounts to the national parties and candidates of their choice, and opportunities for wealthy individuals to contribute vast sums without any public attribution, a phenomenon known as dark money. Party identification has become the most important factor in how people vote, transforming elections into a kind of political Armageddon. After the 2020 contest, 66% said it was either the single most important election or one of the most important in their lifetimes. The partisanship we live with today can be traced back to different views of American government that divided the nation's founders. Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson, two members of George Washington's first cabinet, were adversaries whose differences were so contentious they eventually caused each to resign. Hamilton believed that freedom was a peculiarly American trait, but needed to be paired with a strong central government led by a strong executive to prevent it from running amok. Jefferson also